Welcome back into the Sports Information Podcast. I'm your host, Hopkins, episode 206. We're at that turning point in the season now with the NFL where teams are going to start making and breaking their seasons. Teams are going to start locking in their seeding in the playoff race. Teams are going to start really separating themselves in the tiers of Super Bowl contenders, playoff contenders, number one pick contenders, right? The season is ramping up at full speed, at full pace, and it's great. We love it. We're so back. Anyway, per usual, week 5 recap, week 6 picks, producer and listener questions, and we've got our usual guys asking questions. We need a few more new people out there to ask questions. So if you're new to the channel, like, rate, subscribe. But also ask a question, post a comment, do something. Tell me about your favorite team. Maybe we'll agree, maybe we'll disagree. Week 5 recap, not a good one. First time in the history of the show, which is a full season's worth at this point, old. We started in week 6 last year, and that's when we started keeping track of picks. That's when we started our show. And we've yet to go below 500. So, monumental week, not in a good way, but we're sure to bounce back next week. No worries. Don't temper your expectations and temper your emotions. We're not falling apart here. We're not rattled one bit either. We are here. Hand up, though. Fell 5-9. Overall, we're 48, 29-1 on the year still. That one tie last week, the Cowboys and the Packers, and a ruined instant classic. It's just a thing, and it's awful. But we're sitting at 62.2% on the year. We'll dive right into week 5 here. Started off bad. Rams fumbled the bag against the Niners. Really, no excuse for my friends in LA here. I picked them with my chest. Said there's no way Matt Stafford goes out there and loses to Mac Jones. Said Sean McVay is going to be able to coach with, if not out-coach, Kyle Shanahan, divisional opponent. Didn't happen. Didn't happen that way. Kyron Williams fumbled a couple times. Just terrible. Bad football by the Rams to close out that game. And it should have been a win for them. That was one of those games where I was right till I wasn't, And I was right for a good while into that game. It's an unfortunate loss, but it's a loss on the record. It's a stain on the tarp. Minnesota at Cleveland. Got it right by the skin of our teeth, but got it right. Miami at Carolina. Got it wrong. Miami is bad. Tyreek, what happened to him is awful. It's horrible. Unfortunately, he's probably going to be cut next year, and it's probably the end of his career. It's definitely the end of Tyreek Hill as we know him. If he plays again, he will never be the same Tyreek. So that's a sad moment right there. It's a sad way to see a career end. Wrong about the game. Houston at Baltimore. This is one we picked with a caveat. We were right based on the caveat. We said if Lamar played, we're taking Baltimore. If Lamar didn't play, we were taking Houston. Lamar did not play, and Houston got the W. We're going to take it in a week where we go 5-9, because if we don't take it, we're 4-9, and I can't have that. So we're taking our points where we can get them. Had we been wrong, we also would have taken it. We would have been 4-10. It would have been whatever. It is what it is. Denver at Philly. Again, just bad beats this week, guys. If Philly is the team that everybody says they are and thinks they are, they've got to get that win, and they didn't, and we were wrong. New York at New Orleans. I said this one was bad. Didn't like picking it. Didn't feel comfortable on either side. It was one of those kinds of games we picked New York, and we were wrong. And it's, again, one of those games that we looked right through the first quarter and a half, almost up until halftime, really, and the Saints just came storming back. The Giants fell apart. It was tough to see. Dallas at the Jets. This was a great game. This was a must-see TV game. I don't think we included that last week as must-see TV. I'll double-check. However, it was awesome, and we got it right, so that's exciting for us. Dak Prescott looks elite this year. He's spinning that thing, man. He's spinning the pill all over the field. He's making great plays. George Pickens looks like one of the best offseason acquisitions. He certainly has, outside of Daniel Jones, bounced back maybe the best in this offseason from after switching and leaving one team that was a bad situation for said player and producing at a higher level in another location. Other than Daniel Jones, I think George Pickens is maybe the highlight player in that regard this year. Let's double check this. Did we have that as a must-see TV game? No. No, we did not. Which is fine. Got the game right. Las Vegas at Indy. Nailed it. 40 to 60 point. Oh, no. 40 to 60. 40 to 6 point dub for the Colts. And we're the best team in football now, guys. Okay? Go look at the rankings. You can look at divisional. You can look at conference. You can look at NFL standings. We're number one in whichever category you want to look at. All right? I know. Beginning of the season, I wasn't in on it. Who was in? Who called this? Stand up. Show your receipt. Put your receipt in the comments. At me on Twitter, HopHopkinsSID. At me on Instagram, HopHopkinsSID. Show the receipt where you said Daniel Jones and the Colts were going to be doing anything close to this, or that Daniel Jones was going to be putting anywhere close to these numbers. Show me. Nobody had it on their bingo card, okay? Not even Shane Steichen, not even Daniel Jones. However, with that said, expectations are not tempered. Expectations are not on hold. Expectations now are we have to compete for a playoff spot, if not win the division and get a playoff spot. Right now, through 5 weeks, that's the expectation that we have set as a franchise. I'm out here repping my guy, Peyton Manning. There might be a new sheriff in town, and it might be a 1-year rental on a sheriff because this guy might fall apart again next year. Remember, Hop's worst nightmare. We're good this year. He plays with our emotions, but we're not good enough to win anything when it matters. And then he's bad the next 3 years, and we didn't have a good enough pick to replace him. Okay? And that's still on the bingo card. That's still on the board. But right now, the expectation is we got to make the playoffs. So, roll horse, calling our shot there, making the playoffs. Tennessee at Arizona. Got it wrong. Another one that we were right. We should have been right. Even when we weren't right, we should have been right. Because why are we professional athletes getting paid buku bucks and dropping the ball before the goal line? Call me crazy. You can tell me I wouldn't be a good NFL GM. You can tell me I know nothing about it. That's fine. You can tell me the head coaches would disagree with me. That's fine. Unless you are a top 32 player in the league, meaning if you are not one of the first, if the NFL had a total redraft with an expansion draft, meaning they put every player up on the board, total redraft. They put every player up on the board. All teams are a blank slate. Nobody's on any roster. If you're not one of the first 32 people that would be selected by an NFL franchise, you don't get a pass on that. And you'd be cut from the roster. Like Adonai Mitchell, Amiri DiMarcado, or whoever the hell that bum is on Arizona, like those guys need to be cut from NFL rosters. You're childish. DiMarcado's a rookie. Adonai Mitchell's a sophomore in the league. Inexcusable. Why are we dropping footballs? Dropping touchdowns without any defensive pressure. It's ridiculous. Bad beat, but we lost it. Hand up. Tampa Bay at Seattle. I'm kind of mad at myself for this one because I've been barking Baker's name all year long. I've been saying the Bucs are going to win 10 games. This wasn't one of them, and Turns out it was. Maybe they might win 11 or 12 games now, guys. The Bucks are legit. Baker's on a mission. Emeka Egbuka is here. He's solidified himself right now as a top 12 receiver this year. Right now, name 13 other receivers you'd rather have over Emeka Egbuka. Put it in the comments right now. Washington, got it wrong. Yeah, mad at myself. Washington at Los Angeles Chargers. Got it wrong. Didn't see it coming either. Just flat out was wrong. And the Chargers is the first time they've really looked anything but good all year. So I'm not too worried about this game. But we dead wrong. Detroit at Cincinnati. At the game. I was there. It was awesome. Repping my Ocho Cinco jersey, giving the Bengals fans something to cheer about. And then near the end, they had something to cheer about, but it was a tough one. It was a tough day. The Lions fans basically turned that thing into a home game. My girlfriend was wearing my Megatron jersey. She blended right in. I thought she was going to be getting a lot of hate all day, being one of the away fans. And, I mean, Detroit, you travel well. I'll say that. I know it's only a 4-hour drive, but you travel very well. And it was a great performance by them. It was an awesome game to see for David Montgomery. He used to play there. He hadn't played there in his professional career. His sister, who is now paralyzed and wheelchair-ridden, hadn't seen him play in forever, and she got to see him play. He threw a passing touchdown on a trick play. He got a rushing touchdown. It was awesome. Really special day for him and the Lions. Good win. We got that one right. New England at Buffalo. Got it wrong. We were right until we weren't. Drake May's legit. Those are my takeaways. I'm moving on from it. Kansas City at Jacksonville. Another one. Right until we weren't. Kansas City looked good. Jacksonville keeps winning games. And they're the only competition that I'm worried about in the AFC South for the Colts. So, yeah, that's our 5-9 week. Not proud of it. I got to get a haircut, folks. Not too ashamed of it. Happy we haven't fallen below 60% yet, but I'm still looking to get above 70 on the year. So, with that said, let's move on to week 6. Let's have a strong bounce back. And we need everybody on board here. We've all got to be on the same page. We've all got to have our sights set on at least, and how many games do we got here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, if I'm not mistaken. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 games. Did it without my abacus. Let's go. Philly at New York to kick it off. Thursday night football. That's tonight for you all. Tomorrow for us. I mean, guys, we got the injury report here. This is about an hour ago, according to CBS. It's the most recent one. The Eagles are missing Landon Dickerson, starting guard, and Jalen Carter is questionable with his heel. There's no part of me that thinks the Giants are going to win this game, so I'm rocking with Philly. The game could be closer, and we could have to sweat parts of it if Jalen Carter's out. In theory. The Eagles could maybe miss Jalen Carter, Landon Dickerson, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley and still beat the Giants by 15 points. Like, that's on the board. So I'm picking Philly here, kind of with a bullet. Jackson Dart, going to have a really tough divisional game, I think. Denver at New York. We're taking Denver. They're 7.5-point favorite. That might be a little high. The Jets are playing really well right now, especially offensively. But give me Denver. Arizona at Indy. I'll be at this one. Excited to see Marvin Harrison Jr. play. Excited to see the Colts play again this season. I'm taking Indy with a massive bullet. They're also, spoiler, one of our spread teams this week. Los Angeles Rams at Baltimore. We're taking the Rams. I believe I've got a caveat on this one. Oh, that's later. But yeah, we're taking the Rams here. Baltimore's banged up. Baltimore's defense looks really bad. Puka Nacua is the best wide receiver in the league this year. Matt Stafford's playing really well and healthy. Kyron Williams just needs to hold on to the damn football. And Sean McVay is still an elite coach. Give me the Rams. Even at home for Baltimore. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh here. I love Pittsburgh at home in a divisional matchup. I love Mike Tomlin against the Browns. And Aaron Rodgers is playing a lot better this year than he did since he's left the Packers. Seattle at Jacksonville. Give me Seattle here. We're rocking with the Seahawks 2 weeks in a row. Jacksonville can't keep getting away with this. They can't keep finding ways to win games. I don't believe in it. I think Trevor Lawrence is better than he gets credit for. I think the Jags have still won games this year, honestly, in spite of Trevor in a lot of spots. And I still wasn't even super impressed with him last game. In terms of, is he the driving force of the wins here? No. So if your quarterback's not, eventually you've got to fall off. Seattle is winning games, and part of that driving force, a big part of it, has been Sam Darnold playing excellent. And their defense is killer. So give me Seattle here, even on the road. Los Angeles at Miami. Give me the Chargers. If they blow this game, I don't even, it's not on the board, so I'm not even going to say that. Scribble that out. Snip that. Dallas at Carolina. Give me Dallas. This could be a closer game. I know we've got a 3-point spread here for Dallas. That's probably a good one. We don't have it on the slate this week, but it's probably not a bad one. I think this could be a 27-30 game. I think this could be a 28-31 type of game. This could be a pretty high-scoring game. Potentially, just because of how bad the Dallas defense has been. I'm not saying that the Carolina offense is super impressive, and I believe in them by any means, but everyone lights up Dallas defense. I think Dallas's offense will put up a light show, though. New England at New Orleans. Give me the Patriots. Like I said, Drake May's legit. He's here. He's going to light up the Saints. The Saints look bad. 3.5-point road favorite for the Patriots. I mean, it's fine. And Stephon Diggs is playing really, really, really well right now. He had an awesome revenge game against the Bills. And, yeah, like I said, Drake May's legit. Wow, very impressed with that kid right now. And, again, and one of our takes is back alive. Patriots to double their win total. Back on the board. Back on the board. The old switcheroo, the old bait and switch. Tennessee at Las Vegas. This is a kind of tough one, but we're taking Las Vegas. That's what we've got written down here. And it should be Las Vegas pretty handily. That's probably a good spread bet. We're not taking it. We're not touching it because neither of these teams are trustworthy. Smart, sharp people will tell you Vegas is the right pick. San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Guys, this screams huge game for Baker. It's a big spot for Baker. It's playoff seeding game for these two teams in the NFC conference. It's Kyle Shanahan with Mac Jones, maybe Brock Purdy, but probably Mac Jones at this rate. I think they're going to, with how well he's playing at 3-0, they're going to let Purdy rest and recover fully, and they're not going to rush him back at all. Purdy's still got his starting spot when he comes back. People are kind of overreacting in that regard. They paid that kid way too much money to not play him over Mac Jones, who they picked up when the whole league was done with him. So anyway, Kyle Shanahan and the Niners and Christian McCaffrey versus Baker and his unreal run that he's on right now with the chip on his shoulder and the hype surrounding him and Todd Bowles in that defense and Emeka Egbuka. And I'm excited, but I'm taking Tampa Bay. At home, give me Tampa. Cincy at Green Bay. Bengals fans, it keeps getting worse for you guys this year. You can't catch a break. You've now got Joe Flacco instead of Jake Browning, which what did that solve? Absolutely nothing. Just gave you guys some change. Gave your fans something different to chant. Whether that's good or bad, it's at least a different set of words now. And I don't know, it might still be boo. That seemed to be a common theme amongst you guys this past weekend. But now you've got to play Green Bay, and that's going to suck because your O-line, horrible. And now you've got an old man who's immobile entirely, and Green Bay is just going to rip him apart. So you might be right back to Jake Browning in Week 7. Hold that thought. Give me Green Bay here by a good margin. Detroit at Kansas City. Give me Kansas City. Sunday Night Football. They want that revenge game against the opening day game against the Lions a couple years ago, or maybe it was last year. Was it last year or the year before? Last 2 seasons, they've opened Lions, Ravens, or it was Ravens, Lions. I can't remember the order here. Forgive me. However, give me Kansas City in this spot. They're still in that middling spot where there's enough doubters and maybe even important people that make playoff brackets and decide playoff seeds in the NFL and how those algorithms work. They need this win. And I think they're going to go get it. I don't know that it'll be necessarily handily. I'm not, per se, telling you take a 2.5-point spread. Although Mahomes at home by a field goal or less how am I trying to say this? Mahomes at home by less than 3 full points is probably a very high percentage sharp bet, if that's your cup of tea. So give me the Chiefs here to win outright. Buffalo, 2 Monday night games, incredible. Buffalo at Atlanta and Chicago at Washington. We're taking Buffalo at Atlanta. I'm not doubting Josh Allen to handle that for a second. And then Chicago at Washington is a tough one for me. Washington is pretty banged up. We're going to check the injury report here as well, live, and check up on Commanders. Analysis to come. So they're pretty banged up, but depending on who they have healthy, they could really win that game. I'm going to take Ben Johnson. I mean, that man's hungry for wins. He's hungry to prove that he can win in this league, and that he can win in this league, period. In all kinds of ways, but also with Caleb Williams, with Rome Odunze, and that he can do it right away. Maybe not Super Bowls right away, maybe not conference championship appearances right away, but at least fight for playoffs right away, if not be in playoffs right away, and win games like this one. I'm going to take Chicago here on Monday night in a big spot. And Caleb Williams is going to have his first big primetime game. So those are our week 6 picks, forgive me. And we're going to jump straight into producer and listener questions. So over to you.
Okay, my first one, because I feel like I bring it up every week. It's kind of a broken record, but finally Dillon Gabriel gets his chance with the Browns. I feel like I've been saying I've been a believer for a while. I mean, since episode 1 dropped, I feel like I've been commenting on it, you know. He had a pretty solid NFL debut overseas. Also the first rookie to ever do that, debut overseas. But had a pretty solid game, 19 for 33 passing, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions against a really good, Brian Flores-led defense. Do you think after this, Joe Flacco trade to replace Joe Burrow on the Bengals, do you think he can put together, some good offensive stretches in these next couple of games and, maybe look to have a positive future for the Browns?
I have no faith in Dillon Gabriel's ability. No. I didn't watch. Again, I'm not the most reliable college football source. That's not what we do here. We'll expand that one day, maybe. What I have seen, what I've gathered from people that have seen, people that claim to be smart, people that I trust to be smart, and everyone in between. I've got a lot of college football sources that I consume. None of them have given me anything to believe in about Dillon Gabriel. None of them seem to believe in them himself. And because of the reaction to the NFL, to Dillon Gabriel, no, I have zero reason to believe he's going to turn the Browns around in any way. He may have a couple big flashes just because if you're talented enough to get drafted to the NFL, you're probably talented enough to put up 2 minutes worth of highlight film. in a season, right? So, no, I don't believe in him.
Man, I'm just gonna stay on the believer train and pray I'm right. You know.
It's me versus you this season on Dylan Gabriel, and I'm okay to be wrong on that one. I'm rooting for you.
I want to be right so bad.
I'm rooting for my downfall for you to see you win.
Okay, we'll move on to a listener question. Jay Bates 2011 asks, "What is your biggest shock of the season so far?"
Biggest shock of the season. So far, it's got one of two things. It's either my Colts being number 1 in the NFL through 5 weeks. Truthfully, that is, as much as I want to claim it, as much as I want to say, yeah, I got these last few picks right, all that other jazz. I was doubting them at the beginning of the season as a fan. Hand up, I was a doubter. I wasn't a full believer, but I'm not a bandwagon fan. I've been repping them since day one. I've claimed them since day one. I was at the home opener cheering them on, despite picking against them in week 1. Okay? But it is a shock that they are where they are. My second biggest shock of the season. Oh, man. I mean, maybe Baltimore being as bad as they are. That definitely wasn't on my bingo card. I would have to go with that, or a lot of AFC takes here, but the Jags winning as much as they have too. So the AFC having 2 playoff teams through 5 weeks. That AFC South having 2 playoff teams through 5 weeks. Definitely the biggest surprise of the season. The only other thing that would have been more shocking is if the NFC South had 2 playoff teams, and they don't. Actually, it would have been less shocking because I thought the Falcons were going to be better than they were. So yeah, AFC South having 2 playoff teams, biggest shock of the season, bar none.
Fair. Okay, another question from the same listener. Do you think it's time for the Chiefs to be worried?
Time for the Chiefs to be worried. So, same listener, Jay Bates, idiot. You asked this same question 2 weeks ago. No, I don't. They lost to Jacksonville. Okay, let's go through the rest of the Chiefs' schedule here. Chiefs' schedule. I'm not going to put it up. I'll put it up on the screen. Screw it. Oh, don't like that. That's probably too dark. Is that too dark over there? That's better. Perfect. Okay. So let's start here. Lost to the Chargers, lost to the Eagles, beat the Giants, beat the Ravens, lost to the Jags. We're 2-3. Play the Lions, play the Raiders, play the Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Cowboys, Colts. At this point, I believe they're going to beat the Raiders. Call that a toss-up. Let's just go guaranteed wins. I would guarantee you they're going to beat the Raiders. I would guarantee you they're going to beat the Commanders. I would guarantee you they're going to beat the Broncos. I would guarantee you they're going to beat the Texans. I would guarantee you they're going to beat the Cowboys. They're going to beat the Titans. And they're going to beat the Raiders twice. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more wins. That's only 9 wins. And I would say, I just picked them to win that. That's at least 10 wins right there. That's a playoff team in the AFC. They're probably going to split with the Chargers, I would imagine. And they could definitely sweep the Broncos. And they could possibly beat my Colts. It's, like I said, on the bingo card that the Colts still fall apart, right? But no, far from panic time for Kansas City. They're too good. Their coach is too good. Their quarterback is too good. Far from panic time. Next.
Okay, going back to the AFC. I'm just, for some reason, an AFC North lover this year, and I never thought I would say that. Just going back to the Steelers, like I feel like all year, all off season, when we would talk, we were talking like, man, this might be the first season Mike Tomlin goes under 500. They're sitting at 3-1 this week after the bye. They've got a really good chance to move to 4-1 this next week. They're going against the Browns and Dylan Gabriel. Like always, going to bring him up when I can. But I mean, they got a really good opportunity to go 4-1 in the first 6 weeks of the season. Like, do you think there's any? I got a couple parts in this question. It's a little bit layered, but do you think there's any chance that they do fall below 500?
No, I think the Steelers are all but locked into the playoffs at this point. You can't mathematically be locked in through 5 weeks, I don't think. And if you can, no one is yet. So, but most of my preseason doubt and early season doubt on the Steelers stemmed from Aaron Rodgers and his performance over the last few years, as well as just my dislike for him over the last few years. But they've got, like you said, 3 wins already. They've lost to the Seahawks and who was their other loss to? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they're 3-1. Sorry, they had a bye week. That's what it was. So they're 3-1. They play the Browns 2 more times still, so that's 2 wins. They play the Bengals 2 more times. That's 2 more wins. Colts and Packers, they could definitely walk away with a win in either of those games with the way they're playing and with the way that the Packers have shown that they can not show up. I mean, they lost to the Browns. And the Colts aren't unbeatable. We know that. We should have beat the Rams. We should be 5-0. We should be unbeaten, but we are not unbeatable. They play the Chargers, which I think they'll probably lose. They play the Bears, which is winnable. They play the Dolphins, which they will win. They play the Ravens twice still, which they could win one, if not both of those. So I believe the Steelers are a playoff team. It's unfortunate to have been so wrong about a team and foolish to some degree to have been wrong about Aaron Rodgers and considering the caliber of quarterback that he is all time. But I stand on my previous opinion up until this point. Up until this point, I had nothing to go on or to believe in about Aaron Rodgers succeeding. And early season, all we've seen is he's not been forcing the ball when he doesn't have to, which is part of the reason that his numbers are down and his rating is down, but I don't care about that fully. It only tells part of the story. And he's been able to connect with DK Metcalf, as you should, with your wide receiver 1, and they're winning games. So,
yeah, I'm kind of with you that Aaron Rodgers working out in Pittsburgh was not in my future in my eyes. I did not see that coming by any means. But kind of piggybacking off of this a little bit, fun fact, and somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, and I think it's a crazy stat even if it is wrong. But Mike Tomlin and the Steelers are apparently 25-6 against rookie quarterbacks. The only 6 losses, 2 in 2023 to Dorian Thompson-Robinson and C.J. Stroud, 2 in 2016 to Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott, 1 in 2012 to Brandon Weeden, and 1 to Troy Smith. Is the only, 31 games and winning 25 of them against rookie quarterbacks in 19 seasons as a head coach of the same franchises. That's crazy.
say the record again.
25-6.
I see 26-6 here.
Oh, maybe I was
according
wrong.
to StatMuse. But no, I'm just saying multiple sources, so it's around the same 25-6, 26-6. Yeah, I think it's a bonkers record. Mike Tomlin as a coach, just because he's so winning, has all kinds of crazy stats like that. Like him against the spread on Thursday night and Monday night footballs, him against the spread at home as a dog, him against basically any matchup, he has a winning record essentially, which is quite the feat. And I would love to see that guy with an actual Josh Allen level quarterback, Mahomes level quarterback, or a roster like the Colts right now, just a full bulletproof roster. So,
Do you think he ever leaves Pittsburgh?
nah, I think he loves it there. Is that it for us?
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right, perfect. Quick show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Keep reposting. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Put your questions, put your comments, put your arguments down below. Let's rock. We'll see you in week 7.